Liam boarded the last train from Hollow Ridge Station on Halloween night, the 11:59 p.m. express that locals called the Ghost Line. He was exhausted from work, the platform deserted, the air heavy with fog. When he entered the carriage, it was completely empty. Only the faint hum of the train filled the silence. He sat near a window, watching the station lights fade into darkness. Moments later, the lights flickered. The train's display changed from Hollow Ridge Eastvale to Hollow Ridge Ashbourne Cemetery. Liam frowned. He didn't remember that stop existing. Then he saw her. A woman in an old black dress sat at the far end of the carriage, head slightly tilted, eyes unblinking. Her skin was pale, her hands folded neatly in her lap. Liam looked away, pretending to check his phone, but there was no signal. When he glanced back, she was gone. A faint chill filled the air, and the window glass fogged up from an unseen breath. Suddenly, every seat was occupied by ghostly figures in burnt, tattered clothing. They sat silently, their eyes hollow. One of them turned toward him and whispered, "You shouldn't be here." Terrified, Liam ran to the next compartment, but it was the same. Identical passengers, lifeless faces, motionless. The train picked up speed, screeching unnaturally. He pulled the emergency brake. The train stopped with a violent jerk. He stumbled out, landing on cold ground, but there were no tracks beneath him, just mist. Behind him, the train doors closed, lights dimming until only the ghostly glow of the woman remained. Her voice echoed, "The ride continues forever." The train vanished into the fog, leaving Liam alone in endless silence. To this day, people say if you stand at Hollow Ridge Station at 11:59 p.m., you'll hear brakes screeching, and the whisper, "You shouldn't be here." The 10:45 p.m. Northbridge line was Tom's usual ride home. He always sat in carriage 9, because it was quiet and empty, just how he liked it. But tonight was Halloween. The platform was unusually deserted. When he boarded, even the train staff were missing. Only a low hum and the flicker of fluorescent lights greeted him. He sat down, scrolling through his phone. Halfway through the journey, he realized something strange: the train hadn't stopped once. No announcements. No passengers boarding. No city lights outside. Just pitch-black darkness beyond the windows. The digital display blinked. Next stop, carriage 9. Tom blinked in confusion. Carriage 9 was the one he was in. A faint tapping started on the window beside him. Tap. 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 He turned, nothing. Then he saw a reflection behind him, a pale face, smiling too wide. He spun around. Empty. The lights cut out completely. The air turned cold. When the lights came back, the entire carriage was filled with people, silent, dressed in funeral clothes, all facing him. The nearest one leaned forward, whispering in a voice like gravel, "You took the wrong seat." Tom bolted up, trying to open the door, but it wouldn't move. The emergency button did nothing. The train was speeding faster and faster, metal screeching. The display changed again, next stop nowhere. He turned toward the window and gasped. Outside, the tracks ended, replaced by floating rails suspended in fog. A figure appeared in the aisle, a train conductor, but his face was missing, just darkness beneath his cap. He extended a hand and said, "Ticket, sir." Tom screamed. The lights flashed, and he was gone. The next morning, the train arrived at the final station. Carriage 9 was completely empty. Only Tom's phone was found on the seat, still recording a faint voice repeating, "Wrong seat, wrong ride." Now, passengers avoid carriage 9. But every Halloween night, if you dare to sit there, you might feel someone tap on the window 3 times, tap, tap, tap. And a whisper in your ear says, "You took the wrong seat." The Silvervale Tunnel had been closed for years, sealed after a tragic fire in 1968 that killed the train crew and all its passengers. Locals claimed it was cursed, but on Halloween night, 3 college students, Ethan, Mia, and Jordan, decided to explore it for their paranormal vlog. Armed with flashlights and a camera, they laughed as they crossed the barricade, their voices echoing inside the damp, cold tunnel. "Imagine if the ghost conductor really shows up," Jordan joked. Mia chuckled. "Yeah, maybe he'll check our tickets." Their laughter faded as they went deeper. The air turned thick, and the walls began to drip with black water. Their flashlight beams flickered weakly. Then, somewhere ahead, a train whistle echoed. They froze. Jordan looked at Ethan. There hasn't been a train here in decades. But then came the rumble, deep, metallic, growing louder. The ground trembled. Rusted train tracks appeared beneath their feet, glowing faintly red. "Run!" Mia screamed. They stumbled to the side just as a ghostly train roared past, transparent, but roaring with the sound of thunder. Inside the windows, ghostly faces screamed silently. When it vanished, the tunnel fell eerily quiet again. Then, at the end of the tunnel, a faint light flickered. A tall man stepped forward, wearing a charred conductor's uniform, his hat tilted low. He carried an old brass lantern glowing red. He spoke in a hollow voice, "Tickets, please." The camera shook violently as they turned and ran. The sound of footsteps echoed behind them, slow, steady, metallic. "Don't look back," Ethan shouted, but Mia couldn't resist. She turned, and the conductor was right behind her, his face half burned, eyes glowing like dying coals. The footage ended abruptly. The next morning, rescuers found their car still parked near the tunnel. Only the camera was recovered, its last 10 seconds, showing the lantern swaying in the dark, and a voice whispering, "Next stop, Silvervale Cemetery." To this day, no one goes near that tunnel on Halloween. Locals say if you hold up an old train ticket near the entrance, a cold hand might take it, and you'll hear that same whisper again.